Hello all, welcome to the 64-bit edition of the SecurityTube Linux Assembly Expert course and certification. Now in this short video, I will introduce you to GDB's TUI mode, right? TUI stands for Text User Interface, and unbelievably, your GDB instance, while you are going ahead and debugging your assembly language programs, or probably going ahead and disassembling shell code and seeing how it works, could actually look like the screen currently. And this is really what the GDB TUI mode is, where it allows you to have multiple windows and all of that. And in one window you can have your assembly language code, in the other one you can have all the registers, and in the bottom control one you can set breakpoints, look at memory and whatnot. So let's go ahead and look at this short demo of using GDB TUI mode. I'll leave it as an exercise to you to use the link below and look into some of the more advanced features if the TUI mode appeals to you. Now I have my Ubuntu instance up and running. And what I'm going to do is, just so that I can get a little bit more screen real estate, I've logged into my Ubuntu instance over SSH, right? Much more cleaner and larger screen for me right now. And I'm going to go ahead and use basically one of the older programs which we had created, Hello World, right? Hello World.nasm, and just to remind you, this basically just goes ahead and prints Hello World to the SLA 64 course. That's all. Now let me go ahead and show you how we can inspect Hello World using GDB's TUI mode. Now we would basically follow the same procedure with one small new thing, which is a -TUI option appended at the end. Now if you notice, we have a window up here, and then the rest of this pretty much looks like the GDB prompt which we are used to. So let's go ahead and do set disassembly intel, and you would notice we hit an enter and the screen automatically gets refreshed, in the sense it isn't echoing back, which is absolutely fine. Let's set a breakpoint for break_start, and now let's run the program. We've hit the breakpoint. Now to display the assembly language equivalent of the program currently running, all we have to do is type in layout asm, hit an enter, and here we go. Right, if you recall, this part here from _start to _start plus 62 is really our program. Now while the program is running, we would also want to inspect the CPU registers. To do that, we can actually add layout and then regs. Hit an enter again. And if you notice, our screen splits up right now and we have the general registers being shown. Now there are other options through which you can see, a ton of other registers and all of that. I leave it as an exercise to you to look into the documentation and how you can do it. But for our purposes, all the general purpose registers 64-bit wide are available here, right? Fantastic. Now the best part is, as we step through the program, we can see the registers change and where we are in the code, pretty much in real time. And I know some of you guys are like really super angry with me and you're like, hey, you should have probably shown us this long before. The reason I kept this for a little later is I wanted you also to learn many of those smaller commands, right? It's all important. Now some programs are better debugged in this mode, where you can see the registers, the disassembly, and run the commands. And in some use cases, you might just want to stick to the regular GDB terminal, right? Just up to you and the use case in hand. Let me hit a step I, and this is going to move 1 into RAX, which currently has a 0. Let's see what happens. As expected, 1 is moved in. And if you notice, in this window, we can clearly see that the next instruction is move ABS RDI1, which is going to move 1 inside RDI. Here is RDI. Let's hit and enter. It's moved 1. Now again, value inside RSI, blah, blah, blah. Syscall, now this should do the print on the screen, the whole hello world stuff, which would have kind of come out. In this case, we are able to go ahead and step through what is happening. And if you notice over here, we seem to get the welcome to the 64-bit blah, blah, blah partially. This is more for debugging rather than seeing the output. Hit and enter, and now we are calling the exit syscall. And there you go, the program has exited. Now, this can come in really very handy, especially while learning assembly language, when you're playing around with new instructions and you want to see how CPU registers change, and at the bottom window you can even put in commands to examine memory and whatnot. So I really think TUI is a very good mode for beginners, and it's very, very simple to set up, really just the -TUI option, and after that layout ASM and then layout regs to put that in. And please do go back and look at the detailed documentation, as there are many shortcuts and commands and stuff which you can use and be much more efficient. So that's all for this short video. If you're enjoying your time at Pentester Academy, we would really appreciate if you can recommend us to your friends and colleagues at work or in the InfoSec community. Connect with us on Twitter or Facebook. We are SecurityTube on both places. And we look forward to hearing from you. Thanks very much, guys. See you in the next video.